Hello everyone, and welcome back to Untamed Chaos. Since the last episode, I did a bit of stuff around the base. I did mine a bit of ores, as you might be able to notice here. I also did expand the smeltery. As you can see here, I organized all the stuff, and I made, I can't actually click that from here, but from the pattern, or part builder, you can see the pattern chest. I made all the patterns, and I have all the parts here so we can make the casts molds, the metal versions of them, and also did straighten out the aluminum brass, and we have a bunch in there now. So yeah, this is set up rather nicely. I also did finish setting up the enchantment table. We have a bunch of levels to enchant with. And speaking of which, we actually probably should do that before the thing I was about to do. And I did find the cave down here and seal that up, so we won't hear chupacabras over here anymore. And, yeah, besides that, there was, well, the pig leveled up. I have it in here because I don't want to risk it at the moment because I need to do something. But, yeah, now it has 4 modifiers and it's Grandmaster. Nothing else changed with it. And, there was a little problem with the turtles, which is what I was going to do. So, I was going to do that first, but I actually want to use up my levels first. So, I think I'm actually going to, you know what? I'm just not sure what I should enchant because, actually, let me look real quick. I had any turned off, I guess, but let me look up sword because there's a lot of different swords in the mod pack, but I'm just not sure what should be the best one to enchant because a ruby sword is better than a diamond sword. So let's actually make an enchant. I don't know. I just don't know if I want to do armor or swords or the pickaxe here. But I do also need new armor. As you notice, this armor is getting pretty degraded. I got that off a mob off camera because my old helmet degraded and my boots degraded off camera as well. So I do want to make some new armor, and I decided to make Invar armor because I was looking over all the armors. If I just type in there we go. You can see all the different armors. And Invar has protection of 7, where Iron has 6, and Bronze, my current one, has 6. So Invar seems like the best I can go for at the moment because I can't afford to do a full set of Diamond. We haven't got far enough in mods to do stuff like Terra Steel or the good Thaumium stuff. And I disabled a lot of these other ones. So Shiny is also a possibility, but it has the speed negative, so... and also don't have enough shiny. So I decided Invar is probably the best thing I can do at the moment. So let's just make a set of that real quick because I would like to lightly enchant it like I did the bronze ones before it. So we have Invar, and if I just put this on, you'll see how protective it is. And it's pretty protective. I think it's a bit more than iron. I think maybe only the body is better than iron, but still, it's better. So, yeah, and also, I guess we'll upgrade to a ruby sword. I actually forget what sword I have had. Yeah, this one, I never know how to say that gem. But, yeah, so I would like to enchant, and I'm just not sure what I want to enchant first, because I can do a level 30. And I actually think I'd like to do a level 30 on the pickaxe. Even though we have tinkerers and I can modify it, it would be really nice if I got fortune. I got unbreaking. That was not a very good use of levels, darn. So, I don't know, I guess I'll just do level 1 and 2s on the arm. Oh, that was level 7. It's just weird because levels work... Well, I explained how levels work a few times in the past, but, there we go, level 2. And the sword, can I get a level 3? I'll actually just not enchant the sword for the moment. 3 levels isn't that much, so... yeah, but we have the new set of armor now, which is one of the things I want to start this episode with. We got protection on the boots, unbreaking on the legs, projectile protection on the helmet and body. We got unbreaking on the pickaxe, which is not ideal, but oh well. And I'll put this stuff here and the Invar back in here. So, yeah, so we made the new set of armor and I enchanted stuff with levels. Now I have to go show you what happened with the turtles. So, yeah. Okay, so this is what happened. I decided to finish mining here with the turtles just so the little area I was mining at was all the way down to bedrock. And I stayed in the area to make sure monsters didn't spawn. We had the crash issue again. But it seems there's a problem with the turtles. I'm not sure if it's all turtles or just the gem turtles, but they do something they shouldn't do. They mine through bedrock. And they collected it. So I'm just leaving the bedrock in this chest here. I was able to stop the center turtle before it started breaking the bedrock and finish the center layer off myself. But the other turtles there, they mined all the way down through bedrock, and that's void right there. And now they're stuck. and I cannat collect them without them falling into the void, but I have a plan that may or may not allow me to collect them, and yeah, the problem is if I do this wrong, I'll fall in the void, and we'll lose the turtles. So I did make this little area so we could walk around down here, and I did already collect all the items from the turtles. I just don't know how I can, like, I can't place blocks under the void. Can I? I'm not sure. Actually, let me just get a couple blocks real quick just to see if I can place a block under the turtle, because that'd be a lot safer. But I remember I mentioned before that chupacabra meat, it gives you temporary flight. So the only way I can collect these turtles is if I fly. Okay, so I'm just going to eat this to see how long the buff is again. I think it's short. 9 seconds of flight too, but I can fly. Just like in creative when I eat this. So my plan is I'm going to try and go under and build under the void and then fly back up here. If I can make a platform, I'll do that. If not, I'll have to eat it and then try and go under the turtle, break it, and fly back up here. Because I don't want to lose these turtles. Even though they're not that expensive to make, I just don't. So, okay, that didn't work. So now we have to do plan B, which is, probably should move this closer just so it's one less scroll. I have to go under the turtle, mine it, and then fly back up. Man, these turtle rescues kind of are, crazy, huh? So, come on, come on, come on. This would be a lot easier if I had the blood curry, which is made like this. I just haven't ran into cocoa beans yet. But that gives me like a minute of flight instead of a few seconds. But I got one of the turtles. And actually, just to be safe in case I mess up another, I'll put the turtle here. So, yeah, now let's try with the other turtle over here. The problem with this one is it might be hard to get back in here. So let me just expand the roof a bit. So when I try and fly back to the side, I have more of a chance of actually getting in. And, yeah. Okay. Ah! Come on, come on, come on. Whew. Okay, so I managed to rescue the turtles yet again. So, woohoo! I probably should just fill in this hole just to make sure in case a monster could spawn. It doesn't show that monsters can even spawn on bedrock, but I think they might be able to still. But anyway, so I rescued the turtles, which is the first thing I want to do this episode. And, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna mine much more with them until I figure out what's up with the bedrock thing. I might use the tunnel command instead, which I think makes a 2x3 or a 3x3 tunnel. Something like that. But it will just mine forward in that direction, and oh, it's night. And I did also, I was actually looking to making the staircase go down too wide and expand the door, because it just felt odd having it a one door with how I was redoing the basement, but I haven't really done much with that. I also did do a bit more with another room, but we'll get to that in a minute. Okay, so I just got all my gear back on, and now I want to do some stuff with tinkers. I kind of haven't really done much besides making this pickaxe, but now that I have the smeltery, I would like to start on the casts, and I have all the stuff here. I'm only going to do a few of these on camera just because you probably don't want to see me pour the cast time after time. But actually, I only need the Pickingaxe Head for the moment. But what I want to do is I want to modify this pickaxe, because even though it has the diamond modifier, it cannot mine things that an iron pickaxe can. It can only mine up to iron, like a normal stone pickaxe, which is really annoying because, well, like when I'm mining, I run into stuff like lead, silver, and lots of things like that I need to switch to a diamond pickaxe for, and I can't just keep using this one. So I want to upgrade this pickaxe today and make it an amazing pickaxe. And to do that, we'll need all these casts. And I have this chest here so where I can put the cast. So I'm going to just work on making all these patterns now, because there's a lot of patterns we need, and I think we do have enough aluminum brass to cover most, or at least 72 patterns worth, I think. So, yeah, I think I might just actually work on doing most of these on camera, just so I don't have to put the aluminum brass in again. And as you can see, it's not going to take too long. And then I'll put all the patterns in this chest, and then I'll smelt down something else so we can actually upgrade the pickaxe, because I can replace parts. If you look here, it says, yeah, part can be replaced. So I can actually swap out the parts of this stone pickaxe into good parts. So we can have, or it will still keep all its levels, but it will now be a very effective pickaxe. And I also would like to look into adding modifiers at last. So yeah, let me just make all these casts real quick. Okay, so I just got done making all the casts I'll need. You can see them all in here, but the only one I need at this exact moment is the pickaxe. So yeah, there are also a couple other patterns that I couldn't make cast of, like fletching and one of these other bow ones, bowstring, I think. So yeah, but I do have all the aluminum brass out of there now, so I can just take that. I have it set so under these, there's hoppers that connect to hopper ducts that pipe into this chest. Yeah, I can just use this pickaxe to show you. So yeah, there's a hopper, and now it just will have appeared in there. So that way, when I do put something in here, it will pull it out automatically. When I get the clocks, I could, or if I move the clocks down, I could automate it, but I just did that part manually. I also put some steel in here so we can make tools. So yeah, now if I take this one isn't hooked up to the chest, by the way. If I take this and put some steel here, I'll get a steel pickaxe head, which is pretty much the best pickaxe head we can make. As you can see, it's a mine level of cobalt, and it's a mine speed of 10. So if we just actually search pickaxe head, you can see all the pickaxe heads in the game and their stats. So yeah, there's a lot of them, but the only other one I know that we could make is alumite. That is pretty much a little worse than steel here. You see the mining speed's a bit lower and the durability is a bit lower. But until we get the nether ores, I don't know of any pickaxes that are better, like cobalt and monolin and also ardite. Actually, ardite doesn't seem that good, but yeah, there are some other ones like shiny from Tinkers that is really good. But like I said, we can also swap out the parts later. But just out of the Tinker's ores that I know in the game, steel's the best we can do. So that's what I want to work on. However, I don't want to make this pickaxe full steel because that's not very good to do. So I do know of a couple other things we can do, and we did get some thaumium out of chest loot, and I don't have paper, but I do have sugarcane. So I'm going to make some more paper now. That should be plenty. And now we can make the other tool parts we need to upgrade our pickaxe to pretty much just making a completely new pickaxe out of my current pickaxe. So if I get a tool binding out of paper here, and I get a tool rod out of thaumium, and I get a thaumium shard, huh? So thaumium, even though it's a metal, it doesn't need to use the smeltery. And yeah, so a thaumium rod has the thaumic modifier. And if you have one part of your tool with thaumic, it gives an extra modifier. If you have 3, it gives 2 extra modifiers. So having 2 parts isn't really that good. But having 1 is great. Paper has writable, which is like thaumium, but for each paper part, you get a modifier. So yeah, and I think I didn't enable it through here. Yeah, so we had to use the tool forge for this. But now if I put in this, ta-da, it will swap out the head, it will keep all of its modifiers and levels, but it will just up its mining level to cobalt and change its mining speed and durability. So now it's a steel pickaxe, even though it doesn't really look that much different than the original stone one. Now if I put the paper binding here, it doesn't change anything about the durability, speed, or mining level, but it gives another modifier because the binding on a pickaxe is kind of useless, so you always go with paper. Or at least it's the best to do. And now I put the tool rod here, we actually get more durability because thaumic has a better handle modifier than stone, and we get another modifier. So yeah, now this pickaxe is pretty powerful. It has 6 modifiers. And it also has all these from its random modifiers. Also, even though this pickaxe already has 6 modifiers, I can still give it more. If we look in this book here, or at least I think this is the right one. Got an achievement. But if we go to the very end here, you'll see that when it talks about modifiers, there we go. Diamond, emerald, speed, auto repair, auto smelt, fortune, sharpness, fiery, necrotic, silky, reinforced, and additional. So if I put a diamond in a block of gold, I'll get 1 modifier. If I put a notch apple on a block of diamond, I'll get 1 modifier. And another star, I'll get 1 modifier. And also, this is obtainable, and I can use this to get unlimited modifiers, although it's very rare. It's actually on the rare drop table, like where we got that crystal wing from. But getting that from the rare drop table is very, very, very unlikely. So, still, I can easily get, I can get this up to 9 modifiers feasibly, I should say. Not easily, because Nether Star and the Notch Apple are a bit hard to do. But still, 6 is plenty for the moment, especially considering that just swapping out the parts made it so much better. And now it also will need to be repaired with steel instead of stone, which is, you know, it's not the best thing, or it was nice being able to just repair it with stone, but I think it's worth it for the other modifiers. And speaking of other modifiers, yeah, we need to add some modifiers to this now. Okay, so before I add anything, I want to review the modifiers I can add first. It already has a diamond for its random modifier, so I don't think I can add another, and extra durability is not that big of a deal in my opinion, so I also don't really want to add an emerald. It already has speed, but I would like to add more speed because, well, fast is good for pickaxes, usually. Although, if it gets too fast, it can almost be kind of annoying sometimes, but auto repair, I actually don't really care about this at all, because we can just repair it with steel, and while steel's not super easy to make, I can get a hold of it pretty easily, so I'd rather have a modifier in something more beneficial than just repairing. Auto smelt is one I'd like to get, I just can't make a lava crystal yet. So as you can see, here's how you make the lava crystal. We need to go into the nether first, and that's not something anytime soon. Luck is the one I do want, because fortune is very useful. That's just about it. And if I have luck and auto smelt, it will auto smelt the ingots and give me bonus ones. So like when I'm on iron ore, I won't just get one iron ingot, I'll get multiple. Sharpness, that's only for weapons, not really tools. Fiery, same thing. Necrotic, same thing. Silky, Silk Touch is kind of one of those not so great ones, so I don't really want to focus on that. Reinforced just saves durability. Knockback, not on tools. So, Flux, that's the only other one that we really have. And, yeah. I would like to add Flux possibly later on, but I think I'd rather use the bonus modifiers, like the other 3 I can add, and not the current 6. And it does take 2 modifiers to add Flux because it's kind of overpowered. So, at the moment we have, 6 modifiers, and I can just pretty much fill this all up with redstone and 1 modifier of fortune, and then the other 3 modifiers I get later on I can apply auto smelt and flux. So, yeah, let's start. Actually, I can use the tinker table for this, so let's start upgrading it. Okay, so the first modifier I want to add is lapis. Now, all 140 lapis will give it fortune 3, but it only uses 1 modifier slot. Now, I don't have enough lapis yet, but now that I have a fortune pickaxe, or a pickaxe with luck or fortune, whatever you want to call it, I will be able to now get more lapis when I do find it and mine it. So, that's pretty much a good thing. I want to keep some lapis just in case we need it, but now if you look, it says luck, and I think it will have fortune 3. I'm not sure where it shows, or fortune 1. Pretty much it's like a fortune 1 pickaxe right now. The other thing I want to add is some redstone to make it faster. So pretty much how redstone works is I have to add 5 here, which gets it up, and it will use 1 modifier, and then 5 of the normal redstone, and ta-da, that's a tier. And look at that mining speed, it's already 25. So I'm not sure how fast I really want to make this, because this just seems ungodly fast already. So I think I'm just going to, dear God, a 40 speed pickaxe. I hope I just didn't make it too fast so it's unusable. I'm going to stop there because having 5 redstone modifiers already is insane. So, if I was just to... Okay, it's not that super fast, like it did just break all the stone instantly. But yeah, it's a pretty fast pickaxe now. So I think I'm done with this pickaxe for the moment and want to start on some other things. I did actually want to make some more tools, but, well, according to my timer anyway, we're already pretty late into the episode, and I think I might just do that off camera, save that for next episode, I'm not sure. But we do have a bunch of steel in here still, and all the patterns, and I would also like to look into tools like a hammer and a lumber axe and those kind of things, but for the moment I think I'm just gonna settle for this super duper pickaxe and move on to other things. So yeah. Okay, so while I was doing stuff off camera, I did work on some blood magic stuff, and I did revise this room over here to look a bit nicer. So that's the other thing I want to do today, is work more on blood magic. I spent some time filling that pool up with blood and getting a whole bunch of blank slates. So yeah, there's a few things I want to make though, and for this we'll need the blood orb and this stuff. I actually think, I don't know how you do orb crafting, but I'm assuming it's just a normal crafting table. Hopefully this one works. But the first thing I want to make is a Divination Sigil. Because, okay, so it did work. So what this does, it allows me to, okay, I have 5,000 life points at the moment. That's good to know. So what this does, it is it allows me to see stuff. So if I click on the altar, it shows me the same stuff that the tooltip shows me. If I don't, it shows me my current life points. So I was a bit wrong on this the other episode. So when it drains stuff from the altar, it didn't upgrade it. When I put the dagger in by mistake, that's when it upgraded to a tier 1. I think it was just pretty much checking that the altar exists or something like that, just clicking on it kind of thing. And I think it drained the life points because it has an internal buffer of 1,000. So when it's crafting, it pulls from that buffer and then it drains from the altar to refill the buffer. So I think that's what was happening. I might be wrong. Also, the tier 2 is the one that requires blocks around it, not the tier 1. And I also was a bit confused with how the orb and the altar work. So when I do this, it doesn't add it to the altar, it adds it to my blood network. So if I use the Divination Sigil now, you'll see, okay, I think my network might be capped at 5,000 at the moment, which is why it didn't go up. But this would add it to my blood network, which is why these orbs are good. So when I use a sigil that uses blood, it will drain it from my network. The altar can transfer to my network if I put the orb in there and right-click. But the altar is just separate from my invisible network of blood sort of thing. So, yeah. I also want to make another sigil, because most of these are a bit higher tier than I can do now, requiring a tier 2 altar to make imbued slates. Because if we look here, not a lot can be made with this, and I don't have a lava crystal yet to make the lava one. But this is how you make a reinforced slate, and the reinforced slate makes an imbued slate. But a lot of this higher end sigils, I think it's over here in orb crafting, yeah, like air and such, they need an imbued slate, which I don't have yet. So I wanted to make another sigil, a water one. And of course NEI doesn't want to be nice and help craft that, probably because of the changing orbs. But I really hope I get the buckets back, by the way. Okay, I did. So now I have a water sigil, and how this works, I have to right click it so it declares me the owner, and it will just make water. So the problem is, I do know blood magic kills you if you don't have enough life points, so okay, so used 100 life points, and now if I right click, now I'm back up. Okay, so pretty much it just creates a water source for me, and if I just get a bucket, I can pick it up. So I have infinite water in the sigil, and I know it drains 100 each. I think the lava one drains a lot more. Anyway, now that I have this, I want to work on, I already got those, but making runes. So that's how you make a speed rune, but it needs a blood rune. So I need stone around slates, and I need to make a bunch of blood runes, or 8 in total, so I can upgrade my altar to a tier 2, which will allow me to make the other slates. And yeah, so I only need 8, and I do have some extra ones for a reason I'll get to in a moment. So now if I put this here, I don't know if it actually takes blood from my network. Really hope it doesn't when I craft, because if it does, let's just double check. I think it just requires the orb. Yeah, it didn't take any of that. So now I have 8 blood runes, but now I can use these blood runes to make speed runes. And speed runes are good because they increase, actually I can probably just, there we go. So now I have blood runes and speed runes. And speed runes are good because they increase how fast the altar works when it makes stuff like the slabs. So if I break this stuff break this now, and I think this is okay because I'm not sure how the stuff under it works exactly. I think the torch is okay to leave there. If not, whoops. But now if I put these on the corners and these here, and ta-da! Now it's a tier 2 altar. And at tier 2, the corners are ignored. So any buffs I put there, if I put speed runes there, they wouldn't count. So that's why I put the stuff here. So at higher tiers though, the corners will count, so I would like to replace them with other runes. But at the moment I only can really do speed runes anyway, so it wasn't that big of a deal. So now it's going to be faster, and it's a tier 2 altar. And because it's a tier 2 altar, I can now use this, which makes me the higher tier blood orb, which allows me to do more stuff. And okay, so it's processing faster because of the speed runes. And at higher tiers, I can add them to the corners. And I feel like I repeated that a bit too much. But yeah, hopefully it has enough. I probably should have checked that. Does it show 5,000? So I did have enough. So now we wait. And Ta-da! It vanished. But yeah, an Apprentice Blood Orb. So now if I get my Divination Sigil and look, and I use this... Okay, so now my blood network can go higher. I think... Let's actually just check. If I use this one, it can't go up. But this one will allow me to increase my blood network's life points because it has a higher ability. I'm not sure of all this. I will need to look into it more off camera. But pretty much I can now have more life essence or blood essence or whatever it's called stored in my network than 5,000. And because this is a tier 2 altar, I can now make those imbued slates. So if I... Actually, let me just throw some stone in here and see how quick it goes. So if I put that in here, it goes pretty quick now. And once it's done... Yeah, that's a lot quicker than it used to be. And now I can put it in here for another 2,000 to make a reinforced slate. So now we'll use a bit more of the blood from the altar. And it will make a reinforced slate, which I will need for crafting other things. Ta-da! So I probably will work on making a few more of these off camera and looking into more things to do with blood magic. Because we do need to work on a tier 3 altar, but I believe that needs glowstone. And it also will require me to start digging up this room more, because this entire room was sized to fit one blood magic altar. I probably can still keep the stuff on the sides, but that's what it was sized for. So, yeah, but I mainly want to look into stuff like the sigils. So, Void Sigil, I think that removes any liquid. Air Sigil, that gives us the ability to fly, but we need a gas tier. So, Rune of Sacrifice, not sure what that does. I think that actually increases the life you get when you sacrifice something on the altar. Sigil Fast Miner. So there's a lot of these I can start working on now that I have reinforced slates. So I'll probably start working on them, or start preparing the stuff off camera so we can do that next episode. But for the moment, I think we're done with blood magic for this episode. So let me just throw this stuff back in here, and yeah. Okay, so this episode's probably getting decently long now. I try to keep under 30 minutes, but the last few have went over that. But yeah, I would like to make a couple other things just real quick, and the first is getting into this mod I talked about a while back, Refine Relocation. So I will need some nuggets, and I think if I just... Okay, so I made some sorting connectors and some sorting iron chests, and I just want to take them in here and test this out. I'll have to do more of this off camera, and that's interesting. So, I'm not sure exactly how this works, but, okay, so if I right-click, I can say all ingots go in here, and, all gems go in here. How about that? Just to test. So I put ingots in here, it moves them to this one. If I put stone in here, it doesn't move it because nothing's classified for stone. So if I go in here and get gem, as you see in the ore dictionary name, it says gem diamond, and those should also count as gems. So if I go here and just happen to throw the gems in here, it will just sort them into this one. So I can have anything connected to, or any chest connected to these will automatically be sorted. There's also a sorting barrel and other stuff, so I can just have one chest at like the end connected to this and throw all my stuff in there, and it will sort to the appropriate chests. So yeah, that's what I want to work on off camera, is making a room dedicated to this stuff, like a chest for ingots and all of that stuff, and just getting it all nicely sorted so I can come here and have like a chest, or an obsidian chest or chest, just throw everything in it, and then it sorts it all to the appropriate chests. So, yeah. And just to check, can I upgrade I can turn it back to an iron chest and then upgrade to the higher tier chests, so I didn't just ruin those couple chests. But, yeah, so I don't really plan to do a bunch of that on camera now, because, like I said, it's kind of late in the episode, and it's just something I'll need to work on, but that's pretty much how it works. When I right-click it, gives me a whole bunch of options and filters, and as you can see, it has like a filter for every mod in the pack. So yeah, and there's a lot of these other things. I don't know how the modules work, and I don't know how these higher interfaces, like the sorting connector is all I really know. There's an interface, an importer, ME sorting interface, a filtered hopper. I know what that is. That's for teleportation. Actually, you have to make this and this makes a multi-block structure, and then you bind that to the center with the structure, and then you can teleport back to it with a 10-minute cooldown. Just thought I'd mention that. And here's the sorting barrel, so I'll work on moving all the stuff into this room and getting the sorting stuff set up between episodes, but there is one more thing I want to make real quick before we end this episode, and I just realized I screwed up. Whoops. Good news, I didn't mess up like I thought I did. So pretty much I wanted to make some transfer stuff so we could get a bit into the moving things around. I thought I messed up because I thought I used all my lapis, but I had just enough spare. So if I make that, we now have some transfer nodes for liquids. And the reason I want this is because I want, actually there's other, I did have trouble with this one exact before, but I want to take the tanks out of here and upgrade them. And I also want to see if we can get this working. This is the liquid pack pipe interface, and I have had trouble with it before. But how it works is when I stood on here and said drain, it drained all the lava into here. And I want to try and see if we can get it filling this barrel. So let's actually move that. Please tell me that just didn't destroy my liquid pack. Whoops. I guess I have to submit that as a bug report off camera. But, okay, I actually set this up backwards. And the problem I had with this is I can't get it to link to the thing here easily. So I think I might have to mess around with this off camera. But, oh, see, it is draining it. Good. So I can drain from this. And it's stuck at 200. I don't know. I think that might be a graphical bug because it only had 600. So if I break this. Okay, so how I want it set up is so I could stand here. It drains into the drum and the drum will pump into that. So I'll set that up off camera or mess around with it more because I've had issues with liquid packs and this before. But now this has bunch of lava and I can destroy it and move it around. So yeah, and I will have to remake the liquid pack and I'll upgrade the, let's upgrade the tanks just real quick because I think I have all the resources still. Let's see. So if I put this and go over here and okay, that didn't want to work. So if I do this and get this and upgraded. And they didn't want to stack. Okay, they stack now. I remember that was another issue I had. So yeah, now I have the upgrade tanks which hold twice as much. So once I remake the liquid pack and hopefully get this all set up, yeah. Actually, I just wanted to test this out real quick before I ended the episode. So let's just see if I can get it piping properly from the drum into the smeltery. I think that's connected. Good. So if I put the drum here and put the transfer node connecting like this, it should now be filling that. Yep, so it filled it back up and drained it from the drum. And it's draining from the drum into its eternal buffer here. So now we got the smeltery automatically refilling from the drum. So now I just need to get it so the drum will automatically... okay, it actually drained it all. So hopefully that's just stuck in the... yeah, it's holding the lava here. So it will now drain from the drum and put it in the smeltery. Hopefully it doesn't have enough of buffer, or we'll get enough of lava buildup so I can still take it out of the drum when I need and not just always empty the drum. But yeah, like I said, I will work more on that off camera. And yeah, so I think that's going to be it for this episode. I'll have to work more on the liquid pack stuff off camera. I'll work on preparing more blood magic stuff. And I probably will seal the hole where the turtles were just placed back down the bedrock because while I could use the open bedrock for a mining laser later on, I feel like it's kind of cheaty because I wasn't supposed to break the bedrock doing that. So, I don't know. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this episode of Untamed Chaos, and until next time, goodbye.